Hello everyone. Good evening to all. Welcome back to another guest speaker session from Innovative Astro Solutions. So today we have Shri Vineet Kamran going to talk about astrology and 3Ms. So to give a little bit background about Vineet, Vineet is a civil engineer turned astrologer. He is a qualified Jyotish Acharya, numerologist and Vaastu consultant. So I met Vineet in Udemy. Like he also teaches astrology in the Udemy platform and also through physical classes. So he's a great teacher. I saw some of his videos and it is really wonderful. So that's when I contacted Vineet to take a session for us. So he helped a lot of customers who struggle with their life struggles. And he also trains hundreds of students who now become the successful astrologists themselves. So you can get in touch with Vineet in his website through Astroart. So you can check all his work in his website. So apart from astrology, he also has a very passion towards Bhagavad Gita. He shared this video with me. Like he narrated the entire Bhagavad Gita in Hindi. So it is a 3 hour long video. It's a wonderful work. So anyone who wants to listen narration of Bhagavad Gita in Hindi, this is a must watch video. So this is already on the YouTube. I will also share the video link after the end of this meeting. So please go through it. So thank you, Vineet, for accepting this invite. I'm really happy to have you here. And for audience, please be on mute while going through the presentation. If you have any doubts, please log into slido.com and use the passcode 422803. So there will be a Q&A section there where you can enter all your questions there. So once you enter the questions, it will automatically come to my slide. So Vineet will take up each questions here. Okay. So without further delay, let me hand over the presentation to Vineet.
Thank you so much, Muthu sir.
Thank you. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Yes, please.
Yeah, now you can get started.
Thank you so much, Muthu sir. I'm really grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to speak among some wonderful students, and that, of course, yours and some new people here. So I really thank from my heart that you have such a big heart that you invited some other people on your own channel. Maybe your competitors also somewhere, but still you have been, that's wonderful to see that. So, guys, I'll be talking about astrology and 3Ms today. Now, what are 3Ms? As we see there, as we have put on the screen also, Muthu sir also told that this is moon, mind and astrology. This is the topic of today, about that which we'll be talking.
So can you share your screen?
Yes, sir. I am just sharing my screen.
Okay, sure.
So what we'll be talking about is 3Ms in the astrology, which is moon, mind, and meditation. When I say of meditation, that means how we are connected with the spirituality. This is something I will not be talking about how to meditate, and I am an engineer basically, as Muthu sir just told you. So we'll be talking about how these three things are very much connected in the astrology. But let us start with the salutations. This is very important before we start any session. Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suta Budhasch Guruyasch Shukra Shani Rahu Ketu Sarvo Grah Karao Shanti Karao Bhavanto. This means all Brahma Vishnu Mahesh, please bless us. All please give us peace and bless us, and along with all the 9 planets about which we talk in the astrology, that's what it refers to. So let us start. So before we start, like when we talk of astrology, we talk a lot about who we are, and we talk a lot about our soul, we talk a lot about mind, and so many things we talk about. Now, first thing, I am really fan of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, who has written Nirvana Shatkam. If you all have read, I don't know. If you haven't, there are just 6 stanzas, such wonderfully written, in which he says the difference between human and God is just very basic, that God is Paramatma, that he is a super soul, and human is a Jivatma. It's just like when we say we are God is an ocean and we are just one drop of it. If we check the physical and chemical properties of whole of ocean water, or if we check the properties of one drop of ocean water, practically properties what we'll find of one drop and whole ocean, that is similar. But that ocean is so powerful, it can so do so many things, and at the same time even we can do so many things, but our entity is so small. But definitely we are as much God as everyone is. We may be a small God and he's a bigger God, and that is where we merge into it. So it's a wonderful, he has written, I'm not the mind, the intellect, the ego, or the memory. I'm not the ears, I'm not the skin, the nose, or the eyes. I'm not the space, not earth, not fire, water, or mind. I am the form of consciousness and bliss. I am the eternal Shiva. These are six stanzas. I've just referred one stanza. I don't want to take a lot of time into it, but if you haven't read, you must read this Nirvana Shatkam. This is so wonderful. So, moving further, in astrology, whenever we talk about two planets, most important planets, sun and moon. And sun is called a soul and moon is called a mind. Now these are very important planets. It is said in the astrology, if you have sun and moon in a good position in the horoscope and they have sufficient strength, then you can solve all the problems which are created by all the other planets also. Only these two planets, as they are called in celestial cabinet also, we have given them a designation of king and a moon. So king and queens, I'm sorry. So moon is considered queen and sun is considered as the king, and other planets like Mercury is supposed to be a prince, Mars is commander in chief, Jupiter and Venus are considered as ministers or advisors, and Saturn has been given the place of a servant. So if we have well positioned sun and moon in the horoscope, we can come out of any kind of problems in life, any kind of issues in life. They are so important. Now, when we talk of this, uh, why we call moon is mind? It is not that I am saying something. If you refer these shlokas, you go to Rig Veda. In this chapter, you can see in Yajur Veda, you can see this, Athur Veda, you can see here, that says that moon was born from his mind. Now, when he talks of from his mind, it is a long description which refers to the primal human creation. When human was created, it is said that there was a primal human being which was called Purusha. Actually, it was called Purusha, and then a homam was done, havan was done in the Agni or fire. Then all the human beings subsequently were produced. So when he referred to that, then it is referred in the Vedas. The moon was born from his mind, the sun was born from the eye, Indra and Agni were born from his mouth, and Vayu from his breath. So this is written all in all these Vedas. It is very much mentioned, and other Upanishads also, they are mentioning the absolutely the same thing, that moon is considered a mind. It is not moon is not designated by any human being. It is designated by all our Vedas, which have been written by our learned all rishis and sages. They have been written. Now let us talk one by one. When we first talk of soul, so as per Bhagavad Gita, now soul is something which is everlasting, it's imperishable, it remains constant, it never finishes or it never dies. So that is the soul as it is given, it has been given in the Bhagavad Gita. And what is the soul? Soul is the spiritual nature of humankind, and it is basically the essence of humankind, and it is thought to be separable only at the time of death. And it is credited with the faculties of thought, action, and emotion. Now, just because of these three faculties, we do so many things in life. Just thought, action, and emotions. These are the three things which we really deal in for the whole life. Now, in the it is referred in our Vedas and Upanishads everywhere. They have called that soul is superior to the dull matter. Now, when we refer dull matter means our gross body, which is made of all this flesh and everything, these uh, flesh, dirt, it is actually made of. So, it says that soul is much, much superior to our gross body. This is what it is saying. And then it subsequently, I will just move further. And then it talks about the mind. What it says that mind is set of faculties responsible for all mental phenomena. Often, like the term is also identified with the phenomena itself, these faculties include thought, imagination, will, and sensation. Now, when we talk of this, why moon is mind, it means something. I'll tell you, like if I pick up this glass of water, this is the glass of water I am picking. So what has happened here? What is happening here is that first, now my original aim is to quench my thirst. But what has happened at the first moment? First moment, what has happened is that I have thought about it. And who has thought about it? My mind has thought about it, because a voice has come from the inside that there's a thirst. Body has said that I need water. So I have to pick up this glass of water. So it's the thought actually with which we start the action. So first is the thought and then is the action. That is the primary way how our mind works, and that is responsible. Even if I think, even if I'm a criminal and I think of, I commit murders, I pick pockets of the people. So what happens here is, when I think of picking up pockets of the people, I do pickpocketing later, but first I think of pickpocketing. So every karma, every action, whatever will be happening throughout our lives, this Mr. Mind is responsible for that. Now, mind can work in different ways. Like many of you, uh, when we watch TV serials or when we watch movies. So some people, on a little emotional scene, they'll start tearing, they'll start crying for a long time. And some people, they'll make joke of the same scene. And some people, there's no effect on them. They're hardly bothered what's happening on the screen. They just watch the movie, enjoy it, and they come back. They don't get connected to the either that emotional scene or something. Now, who is responsible for this? Now, our mind, end of the day, for all the feelings, whatever happens to us, happens because of this mind. And this mind, our everything is controlled by one person, that is Mr. Moon, is responsible for making all those kind of happenings. Whether I pick up a glass of water or drink it, or I commit a murder, so responsibility lies on the Mr. Mind or Mr. Moon, who is responsible for this mind. Now, all the perceptions, they are dealt with the uh, in our human life. We are controlled by these four things. Four things. Now, that is, first is urge to speak, and all our desires, whichever they come. We need lots of cars, we need big houses, we need so many things in life, whether they are necessary or not. We need 75 inches TV. Some person may be happy with a 20-inch TV, and so on, and big houses, small houses, and whatever. Now, our living is connected with all these four things, what you are seeing here. That is the urge to speak. If someone asks all of us, okay, now you have to be quiet for so much of time, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever. This urge of, if we don't speak for so many days, we are bound to go into depression because we have to express whatever feelings are happening inside. And what are those feelings? They're all these mind's demands which do come from us, and we really like to speak. We cannot stay without speaking. Now, when we have to urge to speak and mind is demanding that, then what will happen if we are not allowed? Something inside us is bound to happen, that the anger will start happening, and that anger has to come somehow. Now, some way it has to come out, but how will it come out? It will come out only when we are allowed to speak, we are allowed to perform those actions whatever our mind is demanding. We are spending whole of our life spending in these urges, the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals. These are the three things we spend our whole life. This is what we do, in fact. So in our Katha Upanishad, this thing is so wonderfully explained, that how we are not able to control our mind. What is the way to control our mind? And it has compared our mind with a chariot. Now you see here, this is a complete, our body is considered as a chariot. Owner is the soul traveling here, sitting here comfortably and watching everything happening. So this is the, now he's the owner, he's the boss who is traveling in this chariot or rath. He's traveling here. Now what happens is, owner is the soul, and this Mercury, our buddhi, intellect, our intellect is holding the reins of these, and these horses have been connected with our all senses, all our working senses, whatever we say. So this is urge to speak, urge to taste, eat food, and all those kind of things. Now these are five work indris, or five working senses we are talking: hear, touch, see. So all these senses are being, our sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, everything is controlled by these senses, whatever we are doing. Now these senses are compared with the horses, and these horses are controlled by these reins, which this buddhi, our buddhi is, or our intellect is holding these reins. Now if this driver or intellect, if he's not a good driver, it's, what is going to happen? All our working senses, they are going to, and this is our mind reins. Now if this guy doesn't control these reins properly, these things are going to take us our life, and we are going to uh, be under control of all these senses. We will not be able to achieve for what we are here. What we are here, then that's a big question. For someone it could be earning lots of money, and for someone it could be taking drugs, or someone it could be anything. And for someone it could be the real meaning of coming here is to remember God and ultimately achieve the state of salvation, which is, now this salvation is also handled by this mind and this reins. Now this is something which is controlling all our desires, because mind is the responsible person for all these things. This is very wonderfully explained in Katha Upanishad, very nicely said, when they have compared this, our human body, with the planet mind, or we can say planet moon, and our mind. So this is very nice to understand how our mind is so important, how moon becomes so important, because moon is the controller of the mind. Now Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, it is the same chariot whatever you saw just now. It says that, it is the shloka 3.42, it says that working senses are superior to the dull matter. Dull matter is again the gross body, as I said. Dull matter refers to the gross body, and then mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and soul is higher than the intelligence. Now it is the same chariot. he has referred in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the shloka, single shloka. He has explained this meaning of this, what figure you saw just now. I hope everyone is enjoying.
Yes, sir. It's very interesting. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, okay. So now, because this mind, as I thought, every action, like I just for a while back I said that even if I have to pick up a glass, now whole Bhagavad Gita, Karmanya Adhika Raste, and so whatever you have heard the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, or generally people call that karma is controller of our life. And actually, moon is the master controller of our lives, because this is a planet behind our any action, very much small or very much big, whether it is drinking a glass of water or committing a murder. Now, if it's compared with, like, mind is sometimes compared to a monkey, which jumps from one branch to another branch, and mind never stays stable. At the same time, when you're closing your eyes, you're thinking of your wife, your husband, your father, your mother, or your children. At the same time, you think of someone traveling in the US. So at the same time, you can be looking, you will be somewhere in watching this Statue of Liberty in the US. At the same time, you are lying on your bed in your own place, or wherever you are located. So this is the monkey which jumps from one branch to other, and it never lets us to be very much stable. So now that is the nature of the mind, and now this is controlled by planet moon. That's why it is so much important planet in the horoscope. Now, you see, it is connected with water also. Now, this is a well-known fact, which all of us know, that if we go on a sea beach on a full moon night, we see the tides are so high. And on a new moon night, on a Amavas day, the tides are absolutely calm and quiet. They look so serene. It feels so wonderful to sit on the sea beach, Now, this moon is 3,84,000 kilometers away from us. Now, it is controlling such a big ocean water. It's controlling such a vast quantity of ocean, such a vast quantity of water in the ocean. And our bodies are composed of 70% of water, like ocean only. So whatever is happening to that water on a full moon night, same thing is happening inside us, because we're composed of that much of water. And if we not, this is a tested fact by doctors, that if you visit mental asylums and you keep visiting them from a full fortnight, right, from Amavas day or to a full Purnima day, you will notice how the behavior of the patients in the mental asylum changes according to the on a full moon day. On full moon, they may be very aggressive at times. Some patients are so aggressive, they are very difficult to control on that day. So that is the effect of planet moon, which is caused on the people who stay on the earth. This is something, a very important thing, which we should know, that this is controlling us in every possible way, whatever way we think of. That's why it is called karma controller. Or now it has got woman connection. Now this is, so one is the connection of water, which we have just related with the moon. Another important connection here is of now this woman connection. This Mr. Moon, he was married to the 27 wives. He had got 27 wives, and all these wives are these nakshatras, or the constellations what we have in the sky. Now, you must be all knowing this story. It's a very interesting story. But his favorite wife was Rohini, with whom he fell in love with the Rohini. But he was forced to marry by Daksh Prajapati, because he wanted all his daughters to be married to this gentleman, Mr. Moon. So he had to marry this uh, uh, all of his daughters. So it has got a very strong connection with the woman in life. So whosoever, whatever women they come in our lives, apart from the planet Venus, this moon has got a very major role to play, and it introduces us to the first woman of our life, who is our mother, in fact. So this moon very importantly represents the first woman in our life from whose womb we all take birth, and the lady who nurtures us, and then he grows us, and we come to that stage that we are able to do each and everything. She takes care of us, so she has got a nurturing habit. So that's why in astrology, moon has been a good moon, has got, they those people have very nurturing habit, they're very caring people, kind of. So even our everything in astrology, right from when we talk of our festivals, our lunar months, all our tithis, they're all based on planet moon only. How it moves, how it, wherever it is, according to that, these tithis are decided, these lunar months are decided, these festivals are decided. So you can see the importance of the move, such a importance of this planet in our horoscope, So even whenever all our dasha periods are dependent, because ultimately our dasha periods, they tell us that what kind of life we are going to have in this janma. Now, because if we have got all the good chain of dasha periods in our life, our whole life goes wonderful. Now, if we are stuck with because of our past karmas, if we are stuck in the wrong set of dashas, then we are going to suffer for whole of our life. So even that is controlled by moon, because it depends on which nakshatra on the day of birth that moon was. So even if you see all those handwritten, nowadays we have got all these softwares and all these kind of things on which we make horoscopes. But if you see old horoscopes which were written by hand, Muthu sir knows very well, because his father was also a great astrologer. So he knows. So all those written horoscopes, they had only one ascendant horoscope. Another they used to contain was the moon horoscope. And maximum they pulled up to D9. That was the Navamsha chart they used to have. So you can see how much importance even it was given from that time to this time to the moon horoscope, because moon is our real controller and it takes our life. All our tithis, as you can see, now this is the happy moon, as you can see, as on the uh, Amavas day or Shukal Paksha. Now, when the Shukal Paksha starts, this is the first tithi. Each tithi is 12 degrees. As it moves from Amavas to Purnima, he's very near to this. Now, this is the weakest state of the moon that we have. Whenever we have in the horoscope, this is the weakest moon. Now, Shukal Paksha, generally this waxing moon is generally considered good, and this is waning moon, which is it is not considered very good, because as it is said that this waxing moon, when it approaches to the fullness, it is just like, we when we travel, suppose we are at home. Now it's a time that we got 21 days holidays or 15 days holidays, we plan to visit Kashmir or somewhere, we want to go to place of our choice. Now we are so happy, and that journey is so wonderful, and then we go there and we enjoy so much there. And but when we come back, we don't feel like coming back, because we're enjoying there. Now it is, we have to go back again, same life, same housewives have to do their normal course, students have to go to school, person has to go to the office, or whatever the way the life is. Now, because we don't want to get into that, so we want more of enjoyment. So this is the journey while moon travels to from Pratipada Tithi, when it's a new moon, to full moon. And when it is back, now it is back from the holiday, it is coming to its position where it is the weakest. Four tithis, they are the worst. Whenever moon is either in the last four tithis of Krishna Paksha and first four tithis of Shukl Paksha as it starts. So these are the worst positions. So it becomes a malefic moon, whatever we say in astrology, that it doesn't give that much good results whenever this condition is there. So my gurus used to say that actually, whenever this planet moon is roughly at 90 degrees in the horoscope from the sun, there is some people are going to face some problem regarding their mind. Some will have less or some will have more. That is bound to happen. But these fourth is this side and fourth is this side, they are literally not very interesting, not very good. So like as it is written, as you can read there, that vexing and approaching fullness, it is considered time of growth, abundance, positivity. During this time, uh, you can feel more energetic, motivated, optimistic. Conversely, when moon is waning, approaching its new phase, it is considered a time of release, letting go, you know, leaving the things. If something is not happening, okay, let's leave it, let us accept it. So that acceptance, this Krishna Paksha teaches us the acceptance, which is very much important. It teaches us that we cannot get everything in life what we want. Ultimately we have to return that, because that feeling, one day it is going to die and we have to come back. That happiness is not going to stay permanent. It has to go. It has to go. It will not stay permanent, but it will keep coming and it will keep going. Now, I've just regarding this slide, I've already talked. In fact, so now this moon is, as it's a mind planet. It's related with the intuition, emotions, and our subconscious mind. The position of the moon in our chart can actually give us very wonderful insights about our personality, our emotional diversions, and our overall psychological composition. So, according to the tithis you are born, your personality is going to change. Whether on which part of this month you are born, I am born, everyone is born, that makes a difference. So that is very, very, that's why it becomes very important. What was the moon's condition in the horoscope when we were born? So all emotions, intuition, inner self, well, as they influence and play in molding one's life and overall well-being. Now, you see, when we talk of this, this means that now if moon is suppose very badly located at times, like, so if it is badly located, I may be a lethargic guy, I may not be like instructing, sitting at my chair instructing people, please do it for me, please do it for me, please do it for me. It for this only, not moon is responsible. The other planets like Mars or other benefic planets are also there, especially in the house of third house. If moon goes bad, these kind of things might happen. But if it's a good moon in the third house, then it works wonderfully, then we are nice. But if it's a bad moon, it we may have that lethargic kind of, we might be a little you can say lazy kind of people, we might be. So even like other benefic planets also, they give these kind of lethargic things from the house of Prakrama, that's the third house of the horoscope, which is a very important for all these faculties. Even moon is a benefic planet overall, depending on its position, as we know. Now, if it is in the first half, from 8th Tithi to 8th Tithi, it's a wonderful moon, then you are blessed with all good moon's quality. And if it's on the other side of it, then of course we'll have to suffer a little. Some may suffer less or some may suffer more. Now, like in this horoscope, if you see this, a person with the moon in the water sign, such as Cancer, may have a strong emotional intuition, be highly attuned to feelings of others, while a person, when the moon is in the fiery sign, such as Aries, he may be a little more impulsive, because Aries is the sign of the Mars. So person becomes, so moon on whichever sign it is in the horoscope, it impacts us a lot. It really uh, affects us quite a bit in these cases. So now that is not the only sign, no, this is just difference in the watery sign and difference in the fire sign. The nature can change so much in the Libra. Now if the moon is in the Libra, in the similar case, person may have some, because Libra is the sign of Venus and it's a Mool Trikona sign, so person may have all those feelings of romance and those kind of things. He'll be having little more than the other person, who is around him. So this is the planet Moon. What is it doing now here? It is changing our thoughts. It is in the watery sign, it is doing something different to us. In the Aries fiery sign, it is doing something different to us. So, and again, this is not only the signs, even depending on the qualities of the nakshatra it is born. Now, this is also that reveals actually the unique traits and tendencies towards how we go towards spirituality or anything artistic expressions, what we do. Now, this moon, now this, we have to, whenever we are analyzing a horoscope, we should go in a very much detail about the planet Moon. Of course, Sun also and other planets also. I'm not saying that we should discard other planets, but I'm saying to read a person, of whomsoever you're reading a horoscope, just go in the depth of the placement of the moon. Because once you read the moon and the lagna, you can completely analyze the person who is standing in front of you. Definitely. That is the most interesting part of this planet, that you can understand it very well. You can understand a person how it is. So, a good moon, now, like if it's a good moon, like, one thing I forgot, like even when we're talking, I said that it's connected with so many women and it's connected with little lust also at times. So if even that's why people who have a good moon, they can become wonderful poets also. So many all beautiful songs, it is all because of their placement of moon in their planets. They make them good poets also. They are very good poets who have a wonderful moon in their horoscope. So that is very interesting part of the moon. And even songs of today, they talk a lot whenever we talk of romance, so poetry is generally, except for the patriotic part, even that is considered as the love for the country or everything. It is, most of the romantic poetry is related to the planet Moon. There's so many songs about it. If I don't know if you listen to Hindi songs, in these Hindi songs, there's a abundance of those songs which are composed with the moon and this thing. Now, Combust Moon, when we talk here, now, a good moon can do such wonderful things, and Combust Moon can really sometimes it might be bad for us. Now, these people, I always say, whosoever are born, people who are born in near Amavas time, so they always need a moral support. They need someone to help them. They might not ask it, but these people, they always have flickering mind. They will unnecessarily show useless anger, because this is called mind darkening, as I've written here, because moon is completely darkened here. Like when moon is darkened, it means your mind is darkened. So when it is so near to a planet like sun, which is so much fiery, so they need a person who should continuously keep on guiding them. This is very important for them. So whenever this planet is combust or near Amavas or on the Amavas, this is very important. So as I told, mother's health might be a cause of concern too, because that is the planet Moon's characteristic. So as I just previously told, if one is born within 90 degrees of the moon, these people must find a guru to bail them out from all making them wrong decisions of life, especially at the major junctions of life. So whenever you're taking a bigger decision in life, please take advice of someone. Please ask your guru's help or the person you considered like your teacher, or it could be your father, it could be your mother, or it could be anyone whom you really trust on those situations. Now, there are some very distasteful connections in the horoscope which are considered, uh, like this Moon Rahu conjunction. Now, this is one of the worst kind of conjunctions. It is said Moon Saturn conjunction. Now, this is whenever we have a Moon Rahu conjunction, which is got no benefic aspect. Whenever we don't have any benefic aspect on this kind of conjunction, there's a dominance of restlessness in life, indecisiveness, and despite knowing so many right directions, you still may end somewhere else, and you may not be taking the right call over the things. So in this kind of a condition, it is good to have, again, like I said, you should also again take advice of someone or take guidance of someone whenever you have this conjunction. Wherever it is placed, it is that house is going to suffer most during that period. So we have to be very watchful when this kind of conjunction is involved. In fact, this conjunction works for the whole of the life, because our mind is connected with the planet of illusions, as we call Rahu. So this is very important. We must see this properly whenever we are looking into a horoscope. So now this is the effect of our previous karmas with which we have come into this world. Now, another conjunction, which is Moon and Saturn, the fastest planet and the slowest planet. Moon is the satellite to the Earth, and though it is not a planet, still considered a planet. Now, this Moon and this Saturn, now, this person, the good qualities might be that he might be hardworking, honest, justice loving. But if there's no benefic PAC, when we say PAC, it means position, aspect, or conjunction of any benefic planet, I mean to say. Now, this conjunction natives, they are often gloomy, and many times they feel dejected. So sometimes they are driven to these kind of things, which are definitely avoidable, again, if they are under guidance of someone, to again take the guidance of someone, so that impact of this planetary combination doesn't fall too much on all the activities, all the karmas they do in life, like this is their own marriage, children, mother-child relationships. Everything is going to suffer when we have at times this kind of conjunction. But if we have a benefic aspect, of course we have to read the whole horoscope in totality. We shouldn't look any conjunction in isolated view. No, you don't have to get scared that, oh, I got this combination in my horoscope, now things are going to bad for me. It's not like that. You have to read horoscope in totality. But of course, if this conjunction is there, you have to warn yourself that I must check any negatives in myself which can drive me to the wrong side, and then we have to move on the right side. And Sun and Moon, we already discussed when I talked of the Combust Moon, because that's a near Amavas day. Now, another very bad, this is not a very interesting yoga. There are so many yogas we cannot talk in this such a small class. Mr. Muthu is a great teacher. He's already teaching all those wonderful things to you. Now, this Kendram yoga, I am very scared of, and I've seen people actually suffering because of this yoga a lot. Now, it is just like whenever Moon is sitting alone in a horoscope with the no aspect and no one around, it is like this condition, this yoga is formed at that condition. Now, whenever this yoga is formed, it is just like you imagine yourself that you are planet Moon yourself. And when I say planet Moon, it means you are actually mind yourself. Now, when suppose I've taken this house, I don't have a neighbor on this side, I don't have a neighbor on this side, and little far also I don't have a neighbor. So whole day, and I'm staying alone. Now, whole day, I am sitting in the house, no one to talk to, no one to see, no one to see around. So what is going to happen in that case? We can stay one day, we feel solitude is wonderful, it's a bliss. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But after some amount of days, for some it could be 8 days, 10 days, 5 days. for some it could be 15 days, but ultimately I am really going to suffer hard because of this, because I am going to get restless. I'll become very, very unpeaceful just because of that. So I'll need someone to talk to, I'll need someone to speak to, I'll need someone to relate to. So 2 3 days, 5 days is fine, but when moon is permanently sitting alone in your horoscope, this is it will be the similar condition of the mind as you think that you are left alone in a house with no one around for some time. So this yoga also, this really uh, causes some issues in the horoscope, which should be really taken care of some way. We'll be talking next slides how to take care of these. Now, these are the 3 4 this yoga and this conjunction. These I found in my Muthu sir must have found more also, and even I have found more, but we cannot discuss all. But primarily on the major side, if I talk to you, I have seen these 4 things. They really damage a horoscope some way, one way or the other, and these people should be definitely watchful whenever they have these kind of conjunctions or yogas in the horoscope. So now, what is the solution? No, this is very important. I have spoken all the worsts of the moon, what our mind can do. No, this solution is not needed to be, we are not finding any solution. This is given by Lord Krishna himself in his Bhagavad Gita, actually, he has given. The mind is not satisfied no matter how many of its desires you try to fulfill. Even the great personalities like Arjuna frankly admitted that in Bhagavad Gita 6.3, Arjuna says that mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Oh Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. I cannot control the way I cannot control the wind. Arjuna was such an expert warrior, he was such expert of everything. And he said this term, and we are just ordinary human beings. So he said that the battle against the mind, he felt he had no hope. Now, let's see what he said. Bhagavad Gita also it is said in Shloka 6.6, for him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends, and for the one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So, this is all. It's been referred, everything, whatever I'm talking from Bhagavad Gita only. Nothing belongs to me or my gurus who have taught me little astrology. Now, even like the shloka I was talking about, Arjuna, when Krishna asked Arjuna to control the mind, Arjuna said, Chanchalam hi mano Krishna parmathi ballavidranam tasmay mane vigraham vayu roveso dushkaram. It means the mind, Arjuna says, the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, and Krishna, and to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. We can control the wind, but we cannot control our mind any of the ways. Now, whenever I say word mind, the word mind should not come to your mind. Along with that, that planet moon should keep on revolving as an astrologer in your mind. When you're reading astrology, whenever word mind comes, it means Mr. Moon has arrived there. So Mr. Moon is very important there. So Lord Krishna, he replied in the next shloka. He said, Asansham mahabaho mano dunirgraha chalam abhyasen tu konte vairagyane cha grahete. He said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. Now, when he said by suitable practice and by detachment, this whole chapter, this 6th chapter, belongs to Dhyan Yoga only. It talks, even in this 6th chapter, in these 2 shlokas, if you read 6.11, I will not go through shlokas, it say he has compared this is also a form of yoga also. He has taught even the ways, the seed should be neither too high. Whenever we do yoga, this yoga is referred to the meditation, dhyan or meditation. Now, how it should, even he has explained how it should be done in this chapter. He said the seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should sit then on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities and fixing the mind on the one point. When he says fixing the mind on one point, in our modern terminology, this means he's talking about doing meditation directly, indirectly, or any of the ways. This is the ways which has been referred to by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that we should fix our mind at one place and then we practice yoga like this, and we can then control our mind, and slowly we can practice of detachment of the things, whatever we need. When we do this, we'll definitely start viragyanicha grahite. So that means that we have to slowly detach ourselves from those things. Now, even what uncontrolled mind can do, the uncontrolled mind makes a person miserable throughout his life. There's no peace, there's no happiness. Now, even if you accumulate so much of wealth, you might not be very happy. Someone may be happy with just 10 rupees in pocket, and someone may not be happy with a lakh of rupees in his pocket. And there's no peace and happiness in accumulation of wealth or possessing bodily beauty or display of the strength. Now, real secret of happiness in a controlled mind, which is gradually achieved through a God conscious way of life, that is directly or indirectly getting into God conscious life, or along with the meditation we can do. Bible has written a wonderful line. This is a line from the Bible. It says that person without self control is the like city with the broken down walls. And all these things are controlled in your horoscope, my dear friends. They are controlled by planet Moon. So many things. This one planet such near to the earth, and it is doing so many things to us. So, meditation in the modern times, what could be the ways of it? I'll talk, we have got less time, so I'll talk very briefly about them. I hope everyone is enjoying Mr. Muthu. I can't see
Yes, yes.
anyone.
Yeah, I see like many people showed the reactions.
Okay, very nice. Just give me a sec, 1 sec, please.
Sure, sure.
So, before I will not take very long for this. This is a short presentation. I want to talk little about meditation. Now, one, I said God conscious way, but some of us might be atheists. They may not be uh, believing too much in God. So it's not compulsory to believe in God, but meditating is very important to control the mind. Now, this may be done like in a way of mantra meditation, or it may be done like the other ways also we can do. There are numerous techniques they have been made by different people around. Now, what it says that meditativeness is not an experience, it is an absence of all experimental highs and lows in life, that pleasure, anxiety, grief, guilt, and anger. For and the responsible planet again here is planet Moon only. So when we talk of types of meditation, there can be mindfulness, transcendental, mantra meditation, breath awareness, or visualization. Now, you see, meditation is one of the remedies. Though astrology, if you go to astrologers, uh, so we be having other remedies too. There's no doubt about it. Like water, like pearls are related to the sea. People, astrologers will ask you to wear silver rings in the, like even I am wearing the silver ring with the pearl in it. Or you may be asked to drink more of water, or you may be asked to stay near the water, or you may be asked to go to every Monday to Shiva temple, or and to pray to Lord Shiva also, because he's the Lord who is carrying planet Moon on his head. So apart from the other remedies, this remedy works the best, which is the meditation for any kind of problem relating to the moon. This is the most authentic remedy for the bad planetary position of the moon in the horoscope. So these are different kinds of meditations which can be done in this thing. So basically, what is meditation? When we talk of meditation, the first, like I said, it's a mindfulness meditation. So this is a technique that helps us to become aware of what is happening in your life and how you feel about it. Like it is just like you're driving a car, and while driving a car, you have to be completely focused on your pedals, on your brakes, on your gears, or on the road. But suddenly you start thinking about your child at home, you start thinking about your husband, you start thinking about your wife. Then what happens that we fade out of the zone, from that zone, and we move, and that becomes very, very dangerous. So this mindfulness, it teaches us, this meditation, that how we can stay focused on something, so that we are more aware of our thoughts and feelings, whatever are revolving in our mind. Because real purpose is controlling that and bringing your mind to zero when there's no feeling at all, or the feeling is only what you are executing at that given moment. So this is the one mindfulness meditation. Uh, so this is the way, this is a very old way of meditation. So this is a method of calming the mind and body. It is practiced by people of all ages and backgrounds. It has been around for thousands of years, as this says. And this is focusing on the present moment, including your thoughts, emotions, physical sensation. By doing this, you can learn to be more aware of your life and the surroundings. Now, there is it's not that easy, of course, the way it sounds. You'll find difficulties when you do it, but of course, as Krishna said in 6.35, that we can do it by abhyasen tu konte viragyane chagrahte, that by practice we can do it, and we can definitely, when he's saying we can do it, it means we can do it. Definitely there's no to it. Now, other meditation could be transcendental meditation. This is again the relaxation technique. Now, this is this is the focusing on your breath only. This is a form of meditation in which we just focus our all feelings on our breath only. We can actually achieve peace through that also. Many saints many sages, many saints in this country and other countries, they practice this kind of transcendental meditation. Now, this is a wonderful experience if you can do it. What is done is very simple. You have to just concentrate on your breath, and you have to watch it going and coming and going, do nothing else. Whenever your mind gets diverted to anything, bring your attention back to your breath. So this is the slowly you will be able to focus yourself mind at one point, directly on or indirectly. We have to let the thoughts come and go from our head. Whenever you will do like this, you will be watching your breath coming and going. You will see thoughts coming and going. You don't have to stop those thoughts. You have to let them come. You don't have to stop at all. But slowly if you keep on practicing it, they are going to vanish for very sure. And you ultimately, there'll be time where you will be able to completely watch your breath only. This is a wonderful way of meditating. Another way is the mantra meditation. Now, this is in this, you can use a mantra, like even Om is the syllable which is referred in our Bhagavad Gita only. So if you mantra is a word or phrase that you repeatedly, silently throughout day, if you do it and keep your mind focused on that mantra only again and again, your mind is going to go again in the meditative state. So this is another form of meditation that can really help all of us if we do it. So this is the again connection of mind, body, and spirit, as we talked in the Bhagavad Gita. This refers to the same thing approximately. And this is the breath awareness meditation, as I explained you. Now, there is a visualization meditation. Some people light a candle in front of them and they focus there, or you can create a picture. Or there's another thing, very interesting thing you can do. You can close your eyes and you can imagine your favorite place. You can start thinking of that place that I'm visiting there. I'm sitting under a beautiful tree, enjoying those flowers or enjoying those fruits and big gardens around and so many. So you can use any kind of good visualization, which is your favorite, which is your aim of life. You can use that visualization meditation also. So in all these meditations, you don't need a god around to help you out, because it is especially for the people who don't believe in this. So with the good this thing, so many things can happen with the meditation: stress reduction, handling anxiety, depression, concentration, creativity, memory loss, lesser mood swings, pain management, so many things. It can, just one simple meditation can take away all problems related to your mind, related to your planet moon. And even a combust moon person with the combust moon, he does all these things, he will not be affected by that person. He or she will not be affected by the combust moon in the horoscope. So I think that is it for today. This is, though we can keep on speaking, but this is such a large topic that we have time limitations also. Mr. Muthu, I think you can, thank you so much for patiently listening me and all this. Any of questions you can surely ask me, so that if I can.
Sure. Let me share my screen and I can show.
Yes, sure, Mr.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. It's very interesting.
Thank you, Mr. Muthu.
So
Thank you.
Deep dived into the moon, actually. So it's really good. Questions are loading. We'll see.
Fine, sir.
Okay, so the first question is, if the mind is the source of all actions, then how does our previous karma influence the mind?
Definitely, as I told, that moon is a karma controller. Whatever actions we are doing right now, whatever actions, they are, if someone is rich in this birth or someone is poor in this birth, a person, wherever Mr. Ambani stays in a Mumbai, and little 1 kilometer from his house is a big slum. Now, can you imagine, son of Mr. Ambani, when he was born, at the same time, just in nearby, at the same time, another child was born in that slum also. So karmas, they definitely, because this, your moon is placed in your horoscope as per your own karmas only. Whatever you are executing in this birth, they are going to give you results in your future place. As I told you, that moon is responsible for all dasha periods also. Periods also, because everything is controlled by this moon. So basically, whatever is happening, it is this influence of karma is because of planet moon itself. This is what I hope you are satisfied with the answer, because all this action is happening because even in your previous birth, whatever actions you have done wrong, you have done because of bad placement of planet moon in your horoscope only.
Right. Yeah.
Sun and moon, they cause all those pitra, like this, when we whatever do shraddhas, we do on the 15 days when we remember our ancestors, even they are because of the wrong placement of sun and moon in the horoscope, along with Rahu and Ketu and other planets. So this is the influence of that only. So planet moon is again controlling your karmas. So that your birth is dependent on the karmas. So moon is the responsible for that.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Moon Ketu conjunction is also not very interesting, of course, but Ketu somehow I consider a little better than Moon sometimes, because Ketu at times, this conjunction can make you a wonderful spy actually, if you want to become, if you enjoy thriller movies. So it can make you a spy also if it is rightly placed in your horoscope. And sometimes if it is well aspected by planet Jupiter or someone, it can take you towards spirituality. You might be looking out for a moksha, salvation also. So this conjunction, for some it can be wrong, but if it is aspected by good planets, it can be a good at times. We cannot always consider that Moon Ketu conjunction is bad. Now it depends on which sign, which nakshatra, that has to be discussed in detail. But overall, this conjunction is not 100% bad. That's for very sure.
Okay, great. Does Ketu doesn't influence the mind? Is Moon is the only planet that controls mind?
Now, the moon is your mind in your horoscope. If Ketu, like moon and Ketu are sitting together, of course Ketu will influence your mind. But if Ketu is not putting any impact on the planet moon on your horoscope by PAC, position, aspect, or conjunction, then on moon it will not give any your mind effect. But of course, its placement may make you different person at the different position in the horoscope, but if it is not connected with the moon any of the ways in your horoscope, then it may not influence you that much.
Okay.
Now it depends on the position of Ketu. Now if Ketu is sitting in the 9th house with the Jupiter, you are bound to follow dharma. You are bound to, Jupiter is with the Ketu. Now these Jupiter and Ketu are going to take you some direction of the gurus or some dharma you are going to follow for in that condition. So that also happened because Ketu is attached with the Jupiter. Now Ketu is a planet of either excesses. Now Ketu is a planet without mind. It wants liberation somehow. Now liberation, because it wants that I should be liberated. If it is situated with the Venus, it will give you more of sexual feelings or those kind of things with to the person, because then Ketu thinks that getting rid of this body, this may be the only process which I can get liberated from the body. When it is with the planet Jupiter, it thinks that following gurus and dharma is the only way. Ketu doesn't have mind. It will, of course, whatever planet is sitting with him, it will surely affect that. Or Ketu, wherever, in which sign or which house it is sitting, it will surely impact that house a bit, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Moon Venus conjunction. So what is your view on this?
Moon Venus conjunction is excellent conjunction. Otherwise, in Gemini astrology, Moon Venus conjunction is considered as a Raj Yoga actually. But unfortunately, in Parashara astrology, Moon Venus conjunction is somehow accept marriage. Otherwise, it is considered very good. Somehow,
okay.
You can say that.
Thank you for the excellent presentation. Please explain Kemdram Yoga. Just not have any planets before or after moon will trigger this.
Yes. No, if Kemdram Yoga is simple, moon is alone. No one is aspecting him. No one is looking at the moon, and there's no neighbor of the moon on the left house, in the right house, or in the same house, wherever the planet is there. So that is a Kemdram Yoga.
Right. What about Mars Moon conjunction? Does it make someone temperamental?
Yes, definitely it gives. But these people have a strong zeal also. They like to, whatever they decide once that they will do it, they'll surely do that. They have got that kind of aggression in their mind for that. Right. Very sure.
Why do we say this conjunction is good? Of course, it is not Lakshmi Yoga, it is Chandramangala Yoga. So I think somebody typed it wrong.
See, like it is said that excess of everything is bad, Even Moon Mars conjunction, for few things it might be very good, But right. At times, where sometimes you don't have to fight, you don't have to cut the neck of the people to find your results. So Moon Mars, even if this conjunction is there, you have to have it controlled on the aggression of your mind. You have to limit it for very sure. So it is a good yoga. Otherwise, it's a fine yoga.
So why Gajikeshri yoga associated with moon? How does moon bring good effects of leadership and success?
Now, Gajkesri yoga is, you see, it is said in the horoscope that planet Jupiter can take care of 1 lakh doshas of your horoscope, and planet Venus can take care of approximately 10,000. These are such strong benefit. 10,000 doshas of your horoscope can be taken away by planet Venus, and around 1 lakh by planet Jupiter. Now, in Gaj Kesri Yoga, this planet Moon is attached with the Jupiter. Now, when Guru is connected with your mind, what can be better than that, gentlemen?
Right.
You see, what can be better than that? So Gaj Kesri Yoga is effect of that, actually.
Right. Yeah.
Please correct me, Mr. Muthu, if I might be wrong somewhere. So you are a...
No, sir. Yeah, you're right. Because moon is so pivotal in the chart, and Jupiter is most benefic, right? So Jupiter being Kendra in the moon, that is the greatest gift. So that's why Gajikeshri Yoga is given the highest importance. Yeah, you're right. Moon, Saturn in Cancer, and that too in the 8th house. Does it bring a lot of emotional problems, anxiety, and low thoughts in personal life?
See, it can bring, but we should not read it like just as I said while explaining my presentation. Also, I simply said that we should not look in the conjunction. We have to look in totality your horoscope. But if this yoga is there in your horoscope, then you should start practice of meditations as soon as possible. This going to take away the negative of this conjunction. I'm telling you, this meditation is such a wonderful thing to do. All your problems related to your moon, this malefic moon will get converted into benefic moon if you get good into the meditation. So these things might happen, but don't worry about it. Other planets may be situated nicely. So we have to look this conjunction in completion with your horoscope, in totality with your horoscope.
Okay, makes sense. Moon is an Aquarius ascendant and 7th house, Venus, Mars, Mercury. Okay, I think he's explaining the entire chart. It is very difficult.
I think this question. Now, we have to look into the horoscope completely. Like, let us not.
Yes, agree.
So, if Moon is an Aquarius ascendant, so you're a tall person, right? So, and in the seventh house, we have got Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Venus, Mars, Mercury. Venus and Mercury. 7th house, first time seeing each other. Okay. So you're saying that you're a Aquarius ascendant person. Moon is in Aquarius. So Moon is your Rashi is also Aquarius, and Lagna is also Aquarius. And you have got. So what are you scared of? What do you want to know about it? So
yeah, it's the question is a little ambiguous, because we can come up with an
yes. So for discussing horoscopes, I think we'll need to have some other session someday. We can have even I learn a lot from Mr. Muthu also, because I like his inputs also, because today I didn't take much. Mr. Muthu, you didn't put much input, so I like to learn from you also a lot. So whenever we discuss someday some other session, I like both of us to sit and see some horoscopes together, so that can be a good session.
So one more question, like what for a debilitated moon, what are the remedies?
This varies from astrologer to astrologer. Now, one thing is, I don't ask people to wear, whenever they have a debilitated moon in the horoscope, don't wear any rings for that. Actually, for any debilitated planet, I generally don't suggest of course, at some positions we can wear this different gemstones or rings in our or chains with this planets, or for other planets also. But for debilitated planets, please don't wear, and just do meditation. There's no other remedies absolutely needed, actually.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because all problems can be solved with one free of cost remedy. Why do you want to spend on remedy?
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
And pray to Lord Shiva also. That is a good remedy, because especially on Mondays, that also really helps, because he's the protector of planet Moon somehow.
Okay, maybe a few more minutes. Anybody want to ask any direct questions here? We can take a couple of minutes.
Hi, sir. I have a question. So, what would be the influence of moon being in eighth place, or moon is the lord of eighth place?
It is good. It is aspecting your second house. You are going to have lots of money, first thing. So you should be happy about it. You'll have, that is the primary need of every person. Everyone wants lots of money. So it's aspecting your second house. So when it, and it is in its own sign, so you are going to have more of sudden gains in life also. So it is fine. There's nothing wrong with, you see, any planetary position, like especially for ascendant and moon, they are not considered good in 6th, 8th, or 12th. But Rishi Parashara has said in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, generally for sun and moon, when they are responsible for 8th house, they don't cause many negatives. So don't have to worry about it much. So it is said by Parashara, not by me. They have excluded sun and moon from the placement of the 8th house, actually. Though it is not 100% true, it doesn't mean that they don't cause any negative. They cause, but they'll be very minimal. But and you have a strong moon in the 8th house. And good thing is, as my guru taught me, he said that whenever you have a benefic good planet in the 8th house, whenever we die, there's no painful death in life. So that is a very interesting thing, you know. So all good. You can enjoy yourself, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was a great session.
Welcome to you. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, definitely.
Sir, question is if Moon and Venus is in the 9th house, and if the Moon is 5 degree, so and Venus is 23 degree.
They are very far from each other, so don't have to worry at all. This is not at all a conjunction, actually. It looks like a conjunction, but it is. It will not give you those real effects of conjunction. There's a difference of 18 degrees, you know.
Yes, yes.
Unless this conjunction is of 4, 5, 6 degrees or maximum up to 10 degrees conjunctions, we do see in horoscopes, but they don't give much of impact, actually. So you don't have to worry about that. That is good. And Moon, Venus are fine in the 9th house. It's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
So
There was another question which came here. It vanished. You know, it was in chat.
yes. Is moon is also associated with luxury, beautiful house, good status, property, etc. So Nitika is asking this question.
See, Moon, as I said, Sun and Moon are king and queen. Queen is bound to have big palaces, big houses, lavish places to live. Definitely, Moon gives you, when it is placed nicely in your 4th house or aspecting 4th house, and it is not afflicted. It gives you, it is in a friendly sign, good place. It gives you all those things. Definitely, it gives you lots of land also, actually. Not only Mars, even Moon gives you lots of agricultural land also. You'll have a beautiful house near a sea beach or somewhere you can have, you know. Moon is a queen. Moon is queen. It's a female planet. And Moon, of course, definitely queen cannot stay in the small houses. Queen has to stay in the big houses. So you can, it's nice.
Right.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
You were discussing the waxing and waning moon, and you mentioned that generally when moon is within 90 degrees,
Yes.
then it is not very strong or not very well placed, because moon is combusted at 12 degrees if it is near to sun.
Yes.
And second part of the question is, should we consider moon only within 90 degrees, or is it for every planet?
You see, Aditya, we should see horoscope in totality, as I just said, you know. We moon at 90, no, don't take it verbally like a way I said. No, like I tell you one thing. My one of the teachers used to give me Hindi पे पढ़ाता था, वो तो वो कहता था कि हम सब पागल हैं. We all are mad actually. But our madness depends how far is moon from the sun. So basically all human beings are mad people. Only thing is, some people who are very badly situated, who are very who are very bad, in a very bad condition, they might land up in the mental asylum, and some people like me might be speaking here, you know. So mad people are there also, sitting here also in front of, I'm sitting here in front of you. So this percentage of madness can be less or more in a person. Madness is always there. Now, if you want to see your mind's condition, that madness, you imagine yourself, now whatever we are all hypocrites, you know. We are all not always what we show. Whenever we are, you always think that what you think. Sometimes you think of madness, you know. Sometimes we feel like dancing alone. Sometimes we feel like doing so many things alone. Sometimes we sit in a room and feel like slapping someone, you know. Sometimes we go into the bathroom and keep on crying for some time, and then suddenly we come out smiling outside. What is all happening? This is a madness kind of a thing. मैंने बताया जैसे हम सब पागल हैं, मैंने बोला वो परसेंटेज पागलपन की कम या ज्यादा हो सकती है. दैट परसेंटेज ऑफ मैडनेस कैन बी लेस और मोर, otherwise we are mad. So even if at 90 within 90 degrees, even I have my planet within 90 degrees, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is nothing, it's not dangerous kind of. It is generally said the moon does not give you those wonderful results. It becomes little malefic, that restlessness of mind, so all those kind of things, they add little more in that person. So that is what I mean to say.
Right, sir. Generally, like, I mean, if we have to, you also mentioned that if we are looking at somebody's horoscope, this is the one of the first things which we will observe. So suppose moon is
first thing Tony, in a horoscope, forget everything. Watch your lagna, sun and moon. If
Right.
these three things are good, life is good. There's
Right.
no problem.
So somebody is at suppose the moon is at 150 degree, we can generally predict that, okay, the person is mentally strong or he's stable.
Yes, if it is near Purnima or after 90, 8th Tithi to 8th Tithi, starting from the 8th Tithi of Shukla Paksha to 8th Tithi of Krishna Paksha, that period is generally considered a good period to be born with.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aditya.
I have a question. How about this moon 8th lord in Cancer? Cancer lord, 8th lord being in the 12th with Rahu in Scorpio, both are water signs. So what did that effect do?
See, I think we should look into the complete horoscope and then we can actually really go one by one, because this is
because discussing a personal chart is very difficult, no? Because
I think we should ask general questions, because individual charts it will become a never-ending session actually.
I'm not about the horoscope. It's just a moon Rahu combination. 8th lord in 12th being Viparita Raja Yoga. What kind of thing that is mean?
See,
in the
when if we for 2 minutes, if we forget about whatever other things you. Now, when I said that if you have a moon Rahu conjunction in the horoscope, it is not aspected by either this planet Jupiter or something, then it is time that you should take remedies wherever it is located in your horoscope, irrespective of that. Because moon is a permanent, whether its dasha is going or not going, or going on or not going on. Moon is omni-existence. It is always existing. Your mind is always existing. So you should get into the practice of meditation. This is very important. If this is the connection is there in your heart, the 4 things which I said, if you're having these four things in your horoscope, you must do meditation. That is very important for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, please.
So I think 8th house need not be feared so much. All it represents is some ups and downs. It could be even good inheritances. Sometimes even
8th house is no house is bad.
Not so bad.
No house is bad.
Yeah.
All houses are good.
In fact, you can have very good extrasensory perception if moon in 8th house or moon ketu in 8th house. Positively, you can have a very good emotional feeling, extrasensory perception.
You might be a doctorate. Also. You might be a doctorate in something. You might be a very good person in research also. There are so many things you can be a wonderful detective, you know. They are best detectives, you know, those kind of. So there are lots of things the 8th house does. See, all houses, like when we talk of Vaastu, people are generally scared finding all north and east facing houses. I always say them, there is no direction which is bad. North, south, east, west, all directions they have been regarding equal. Only thing is, in that direction, whether everything is fine, located rightly or not, so that is a real Vaastu. Same way, all houses are good. 6th house gives you so many. It doesn't give you only disease, deaths, and enemies. It gives you so many. It makes you an IAS officer if you are doing a good job.
Yeah, good service, good competition.
Good competition. So it is lots of good things. You can be a wonderful lawyer also. You know, it's not always that you are fighting a case, legal battles. You might be a wonderful lawyer also. 6th house is connected. You might be a wonderful doctor.
Yes.
So it's not always bad. No house is bad. 12th house is also, it gives you foreign settlement and so many things it gives you. It's not every life is good. There is nothing bad in the horoscope.
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
So Nitika is asking, like, besides mind-related problem, can moon also lead to blood-related problems?
Yes. Definitely. As I said, moon is related to, I didn't talk, I should have talked other actually. As we know that I showed you the strong connection of moon with the planet water. So it's with the water actually. So whatever inside our body, we have a liquid in it. Moon can cause any problem in that. It can cause blood related problems also, because moon is also liquid. It is moon and Mars, they are important planets for and moon is most important for your blood. All kind of it can give epilepsy also at times, and those all related to water, all urine issues it can give tears. Wherever water comes from our body, it can give that, a cough and all those kind of things. All kind of things this moon will relate to. Whatever organ deals with any kind of liquid substance from our body, moon planet is there.
Right. So maybe we'll take this as a last question from Shri Vidya.
Yes.
Western astrology seems to place more importance to sun as opposed to the moon. But what impacts on the personality? Or both are important?
You see, both are important. It's not that, as I said, the sun is soul and moon is mind. So, but what happens in our Vedic astrology, moon has been given utmost importance. Even when we see transits also in our horoscopes, we see we see from Lagna also, now we see from moon also. But originally in Brihat Prashara Hora Shastra, if you read, it is written that all transit effects are given from planet moon's location only in the horoscope actually. So as I said, our dasha comes from moon, our personality comes from moon. Mind is when you have taken birth as a Jivatma. No, this Jivatma is run by this planet moon. This Jivatma is as I told, that this is a small, the way we have taken birth, now we are controlled by the moon. Our every action is controlled by the moon. So moon becomes more relevant as far as I see, that is my personal opinion. So that's why Vedic astrology has got better predictions in terms of horoscope reading also, because moon is the main planet which actually affects us more in everything.
Right. Yeah, the simplest way to understand is maybe you can take ascendant as a body, sun as the soul, and the moon as the mind. So all three connects.
Yes, very well said, sir. Very well said, Muthu, sir.
Okay, I think we are on time. So thank you so much, sir, for sparing time and sharing your wisdom. So it was a great session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Muthu. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so patiently attending the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My apologies for anything. I might have said something wrong also. Please accept my apologies for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.